Hey, welcome back, and thank you for joining me again and enabling my terrible smoking habit. So I discovered something last night that I couldn't wait to share. One of the things that I have been kind of frustrated by is my inability to master the low and slow cook. I've tried really hard, I've gotten some good results, but I've noticed that I go through tons and tons of charcoal and wood chunks, and I just felt like there had to be a better way. So I came across something called the minion method. So I'm actually going to do a modified minion method. And to be honest, I feel like I read about this before and I just wasn't ready to listen. But if I do everything correctly, then I should be able to get a nice long cook without having to add tons of charcoal over and over again, interrupting my temperature. And to be honest, this should be a game changer if it works. So I'm going to walk you through it. It's the first time I'm trying it. So in all humility, we're going to see how this works out. So this video is going to be more about the charcoal maintenance and learning about the minion method more than it is about the cooking and preparing. But I will tell you a little bit for the sake of entertainment. I have decided to cook a whole chicken. I'm trying a different method with that I'll talk to you a little bit more about and show you pictures and walk you through the process. And hopefully in the end, we end up with something delicious. As you can see, I've made like a little donut out of my unlit coals, and I've got my wood chunks sort of placed intermittently around it as well. I've never used this method before, so I'm kind of nervous. I'm in a little bit of disbelief, to be honest, but if it's on the internet, it must be true. So the literature on all this says only to light about 15 or so briquettes, which seems awfully small on the amount of heat that I'm trying to produce, but I'm going to try to trust the process here. Here is my whole chicken, which is roasting over the top of a water pan that I've put some beer and some wood chips actually. I'll tell you a little bit about what I did to season it in a minute. One of my other favorite things to do is to, at the same time, smoke some sausages. Those will be done well before the chicken, so that'll act as a nice little snack. So I unfortunately didn't get a video of the messy process of preparing my chicken, but I will talk to you a little bit about what I did, because I did try something new, which is when you spatchcock the chicken. And what that fancy word means is that I'm going to cut out the spine. So I'll tell you a little bit about how to do that. You can actually use regular kitchen shears, like come in a standard knife block for the kitchen. And you start with the tail, and it's not one slice, down the middle. It's actually going to be two cuts. The ribs that are sort of connected are going to be very brittle and easy to cut. So you just start on one side and go up, and then go on the other side of the spine, and then you're able to just take out that whole big piece. And then at that point, you can open up the chicken, lay it flat, season it, and throw it on the grill. So what I actually use to season it is something kind of fun I found at the store. If you've ever made homemade tacos, you've probably used an El Paso taco kit at home, but what this is actually Caribbean-inspired jerk seasoning. So what I did was take that packet of seasoning and smear it all under the inside of the skin, which you should be able to peel up pretty easily once you've laid it out like that. I also cut some slivers of butter and shoved that underneath there. And now I've tossed it on the smoker. You saw what that all looked like, and hopefully it's gonna be great. It's time for a check-in. I want to show you what I've done. In essence, I don't think I started off with enough charcoal, so I have had to modify my plan a little bit, but I want to show you what's going on in here because I think it's educational. So I did have to add more coals. What I ended up doing was shoving my already lit coals to the side, to the left side, and then I added some unlit coals, which again is a little weird for me because I didn't know you could do that. So now I've got a good bed of coals going, some new ones ready to light, and keep my heat going. I may end up having to add another bed of coals here, I think. But again, the big takeaway is being able to add the unlit coals like to the side and let them slow burn. So another tip while we're waiting is basically when I'm doing the low, slow roast in my smoker is I'm trying to keep that needle between 200 and 300. You know, as I see it climb, I might need to do things to adjust it, adjust my vents to decrease the temperature, or if I see the needle dropping, then that's when I might need to add more charcoal or wood temporarily. But that's the sweet spot. That's what I'm trying to maintain. It's not gas, it's not electric, so I can't just set it to a temperature and forget it, which is all part of the challenge and the fun, in my opinion. But while we're looking at things, I'm gonna lift this lid and show you what we have going on underneath. Oh man, this is the first time I'm looking at it in a while. Look at that chicken, it's got a great color to it. Those sausages are looking great. I actually might flip those, but man, I think we are on the path to greatness. So what's all this? It's exactly what it looks like. It's a smokehouse charcuterie that I'm gonna snack on while I wait for the rest of my chicken to cook. But we got a lot of delicious things going on here. I've got that sausage that I have been smoking at the same time, so that's awesome. Got some leftover smoked beef from the other day that I'm using. I've even got some olives, some cheese, some pepperoncinis, which I love, some apple butter for a nice little mix into the sweet. And then I've got some spicy brown mustard, all for a delicious snack to hold me over while I wait for the chicken to finish. So here's my honest assessment at this point. I'm about 4 hours or more into this cook, and I've tried to use the minion method, and I did have to add more charcoal, and I've gone through a bag of wood like you can buy at the grocery store, the wood chunks, and I will say I am more efficient on the coals though. Like I'm only through like half a bag, so I guess that's good. But in the end, I think if I had to do it again, I would start with more coals in my cold donut like you saw at the beginning, because I just feel like this is about the same amount of effort that I've been putting in so far in my long smokes, which is fine because that's what I want to do, but I just wanted to not have to put more coals in, and like I'm having to do things. I've added more coals, more wood chips. I'm having to constantly mess with the vents, which I guess is supposed to be fun, but in the end, I just want my chicken to be awesome, so. Captain's log, start date 12321. In a desperate attempt to finish my chicken, I have lit some coals in my charcoal chimney and dumped it in, trying to raise my temperature to 300 plus and hopefully ride this thing out until the very end. All right, there it is. I hit my target temperature just a little while ago, so I'm letting it rest. But that is a delicious looking bird.